Hello! Welcome back to Boxes and Bubbles for another spoiler-free comic book review. Today we're taking a look at Nightwing number 81 from DC Comics.
Written by Tom Taylor, writer of one of my current favorites, Seven Secrets. Art by Bruno Redondo. Colors by Adriano Lucas. And letters by Wes Abbott. So this is actually my first Nightwing book. I jumped onto this one at issue 78 when Tom Taylor took over writing duties, which is the way to do it, if you ask me. More on that in another video. Anyway, my point being, even if you don't know Nightwing and the rest of the Bat family super well, you can still read and enjoy this run from issue 78 onward. Everything is understandable from context, and so long as you're at least vaguely aware that both Tim Drake, Robin, and Dick Grayson, Nightwing, were trained by Batman and fight crime with the help of Oracle, who does intel and computer stuff, you're all good. So moving on to the story. If you're planning to start at 78, go back and do that first, because while I won't spoil this issue, I'll be talking about some of the stuff from previous ones. Alright, everyone gone who needs to be gone? Cool. So, as we know from previous issues, Nightwing's been left a ton of money from the dearly departed Alfred, and he's decided to use it trying to do good in Bloodhaven. Sidestep here, the U in Bloodhaven has these two dots, it's called an umlaut. That changes the U sound to an U. So it should be pronounced Bloodhaven, but come on. Last issue, Nightwing went down to the homeless camp to talk to the son of a man who ended up dead after spending the night at a hotel room that Nightwing had paid for, making him the prime suspect. The guy had his heart completely removed by a new villain known as Heartless. Nightwing has just finished fighting some gang members who set the whole place on fire, and this issue, Heartless shows up at the camp too, surprising Nightwing by leaving the remaining children alone to escape the fire. Heartless and Nightwing throw some hands, and it turns out that his seemingly benevolent move in letting the kids run for it was actually a plot to do something much worse than roughing up a few stragglers. The fire has bottlenecked everyone onto a pier that he's rigged with explosives. The guy planned to blow up like a few hundred people for no reason. We still have no idea of his motivations, but for the time being he seems like a murderous lunatic. Not only that, but a murderous lunatic who actively wants to commit mass murder, including tens or hundreds of children. That's pretty far gone. I hope we get more details about what's driving him to do that as the run continues, cause damn, that's messed up. I really like the creepy expressionless mask that he wears and how it stops at his top lip so we can see his horrible grin sticking out. Ugh. Anyway, luckily nobody dies in the explosion, but the pier is set on fire and cut off from the land, so everyone is stuck on the burning wood. Nightwing thinks fast and with some help from Oracle, radios boats and ships in the surrounding area to come and help evacuate everybody from the pier. The community coming together boosts Nightwing's faith in the will and ability of people in Bloodhaven to do good. Right as help arrives, he passes out because he's recovering from a bullet to the brain. Actually, I don't know when that happened, it was before I started reading, but we get it from context here. And he was just repeatedly punched in the head and or face. No word on Heartless, but it's a safe bet that he escaped and chose to leave Nightwing alive. Not totally out of character for him because, as we've just seen, he likes to toy with his prey. While he's resting, Oracle updates Nightwing on a new situation for Bloodhaven. The new mayor is a woman who was raised by the Marconi crime family. She has a huge and heavily redacted FBI file and was the head of the council, meaning that she was next in line to inherit the position of mayor if anything happened to the old mayor, which of course, thanks to her crime family, it did. This woman is also the daughter of Tony Zucco, the man who killed Dick Grayson, aka Nightwing's parents. That night, Dick can't sleep. I'm mature. He's trying to do good for Bloodhaven, so the idea of someone with a huge rap sheet, ties to organized crime, and somebody related to the murderer of his parents being the mayor, he wants to do something about it. And he doesn't want to wait to heal up first, so he heads to her place with the intention of nothing physical, just checking it out. But he picked the wrong window to sneak in through and ends up face to face with a guard who's a good enough match against him in this condition. To make things worse, he clocks his head and ends up knocked out again. He wakes up and is concerned when he realizes that he's tied up and he's not wearing his mask. But those surprises got nothing on what happens next. But you'll have to read it for yourself to find out. Tom Taylor's writing in this book is a perfect blend of funny and dramatic. When the Bat family interact, it's charming and full of the kind of teasing that you can only really have with the people that you're very close with. And on the other hand, the new villain, Heartless, is a total monster. And I want to take a minute to talk about Bruno Redondo and Adriano Lucas' art. I love the style of the artwork. Almost every black line is a thin outline, and the coloring is doing a lot of work. There's lots of slices of color next to the same color, only darker, so the colors don't gradate, there's no cross-hatching. And it gives the entire book a really clean and sleek and cool feel. There's a special feeling I absolutely love in comics where the writing on a book is awesome and it's paired with artwork that's awesome, and equally important, a colorist who sets it off just right. It feels like hearing a bunch of musicians you love playing together, or eating something that combines flavors you really like. It doesn't happen with too many books, but when it does, it's so great. As you might be able to tell, I'm having an absolute blast with this book. And though there are so many books every month that I look forward to reading, this one is way up there, even for me, as somewhat of a new Bat Family reader.
And that's all I got for you this time. But if you're interested in other books that came out last week, make sure you check out the rest of the channel for some other spoiler-free reviews. And follow along at Boxes and Bubbles on Twitter to hear about some other books I didn't have time to make videos for. That's all for this time, but I'll catch you next time.